guys? Welcome back. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Today's Halloween and the stock market gave us a treat or a trick, and it looks like it was mostly tricks today. It was tough to trade, and I do have some great news, actually amazing news. We did our 11th winning trade in a row. Believe it or not, here it is, guys. We did a SPY 382 put. We paid $360 for it, and we closed it at $440, so a nice 22% gain on that one. Congratulations again. We are on fire. My all-time record is actually 11 out of 11. So I hit this twice, and right now I am focused 100%. I want to hit that 12th play and break my own record. I believe it. It will happen. I worked really hard this month. As you guys can tell, October has been one of those months where it was incredibly frustrating to trade. It was a bunch of tricks and treats, and I mean, it was just all over the place. And if you guys notice here, I play mostly calls, and maybe about 10%, or actually about 20% of it was puts. So mostly calls, some puts, and the market, we did well primarily because of that, because the market has been going up steadily and we missed these downtrends and we caught some of them as well. October has been a perfect month. I cannot complain on me, but I can see how people are losing money. Though this is a market that's incredibly frustrating. Even though I'm winning, I can still see the frustration. I know what's going on. But guys, I do have a lot of information to cover here. What's important, as in what's coming up, what you should be looking out for, some data that's going to come out to the market. I'll just hop into that real quick as well. Let's take a look at the economic calendar here. And if you guys are not familiar, the economic calendar is just major events that is forecasted and given. So we know, for example, at 10 a.m. Tuesday, November 1st, we have job openings and a whole bunch of other things here that's relevant. Some of them are not that relevant. I'll tell you the most important ones that we're going to look at is jobless claims. And the most important thing on this list is the FOMC announcement, which is going to come out 2 p.m. And then Jerome Powell will give his press conference at 2:30 p.m. This is a market mover. It moves the markets every single time, either up or down. Lately, it's been mixed. I'm not too sure exactly what will transpire after this event. I do have some expectations, and I do see how November is going to turn out. But remember, the Santa Claus rally, which is in December, we're already at the end of October, so we're going into November. Going into December, there is usually a rally that picks up, and I think we have the perfect circumstances for that to happen. A lot of the sentiment is going to change, attitude towards the market, investor confidence is going to change, and there is a very likelihood of a rally coming up. So be prepared for that. Again, it's statistical. It does happen. I believe somewhere around 80% of the time, you do get a rally in December. Now, the average return of rally is like 1 or 2%. It's nothing crazy, but lately it could be because of the fact of how much we sold off year to date. I mean, right now from year to date, we are down about 20% on the S&P. So there is territory for a rally. I'm not saying that we're going to shoot back to 400 or anything like that, but it could happen. And when it does happen, I'm prepared for it. And if it does not, if it decides to go lower, great. We will capitalize on that as well. Now, running into the portfolio, guys, it was an average day. We didn't do anything extra. We already had all our positions covered. So we had Theta do a lot of the work. And as you guys can tell, the only contracts that are out of the money, the ROKU contracts are slightly losing, but they're not really losing because shares have appreciated, which is really nice. So we actually gained more value back than we lost on premium. However, the contracts are higher than what we sold them. Again, earnings is coming up soon. AMD reports tomorrow as well. We'll talk about that just a little bit longer. If you're watching through, I'm going to talk about the next play, what I'm thinking about my 12th play is actually going to be. And it might be a full swing. It might be a day trade. It might be a multi-day swing. But yeah, AMD is reporting, and my preference to play AMD, yes, we own the stock, but I want to play options as well. And I'm not going to play it through AMD directly because the contracts are primarily too expensive. And what's usually going to happen is, even if we're right on the direction, a lot of times Theta and implied volatility just eats these contracts, as in the move is not big enough to justify the price tag that you pay for those contracts. So again, no matter what happens, there's a good chance, unless AMD has like one of those 10, 15, 20% moves, which is just unlikely at this point, given the fact that semiconductors have been struggling these past 2 years, mainly because of chip shortages and a whole bunch of other factors that are political, economical, that involve the supply chain, and much more on that. I'm not going to cover in detail. But again, we are going to play AMD, but we're going to play AMD playing NVIDIA. Okay, guys? Now, NVIDIA, as you guys know, is the monster of all semis, and it's the biggest. They're definitely the bigger player. But again, the beautiful thing about this play here is that NVIDIA actually reports on November 16 or 17. So we will want to get November 18 contract. But again, so November 18th, I don't know exactly what strike I'm going to play. I don't know exactly what calls I'm going to get. I am thinking calls, mainly because of where we are at. Now, is the reward there for puts? Absolutely. I mean, again, it can go either way, but we're really trending on the lower end of NVIDIA. I mean, it's just at a 36 price to earnings, it's just really cheap compared to the growth that this company is going to be experiencing in the next 5 to 10 years from now. This is definitely an aggressive buy here. So anything that's good, and again, remember the semiconductors have actually downgraded their forecast on earnings, so they will most likely beat. Intel reported, I think they beat by like 40% on their EPS, and it still didn't do well. I do believe that, again, I'm pretty confident that NVIDIA is going to beat. It's more about the guidance. It's what they're going to say going forward into it. But again, this is not about AMD. It's about NVIDIA. So we're going to play NVIDIA through AMD's earnings. And what's going to happen is when AMD reports, if AMD does well, you're going to have a big move on NVIDIA as well. Now, there's two ways to play. We remember 18 contracts, where these contracts will cover earnings. So it gives us multiple ways of making money. One, it gives us more time. So what that means is that, yes, the stock could recover within that time frame and it could appreciate. Or the perfect scenario would be, scenario 2 would be AMD just does great, NVIDIA bounces on that, and we sell them, make a bunch of money, and call it a day. And the third option will be just like, you know what, let's just play NVIDIA directly. So we have 3 ways of making money, and I call these catalysts. And a catalyst is basically a reason why the stock will go up. And we have a lot of events coming up this week. Earnings season is wrapping up here, so it's all back to economical and data-driven market, and we're back to it. So I believe all the big names have reported. There's not one big name that hasn't reported yet, from Amazon, Apple, Meta. I mean, everything has been reported so far. We're back to the economic cycle. So data is the most important thing right now, and the more data we get, the more likely we're going to transpire in one direction or the other. Now, again, forecasts, I can't really tell you where the market's going to go. I really can't. Even though I hit 11 out of 11, I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't, that's not how I play the markets. I don't play the markets with the intention of guesswork. I do see momentum more on the upside and downside from last month. Can that continue into November? It can, but more than most likely it's going to flatline. I don't think we're going to break this 400, but we might. And we might hit that 415, 420 mark area, and maybe then we might get a rally, but again, we're approaching those all-time highs, the 479. We're not going to get there. Not anytime. Definitely not this year. Again, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say that, but incredibly unlikely that we'll break new highs this year. For that to happen, you would need tremendous economic relief. You would need it's just not possible. I feel like if the Fed does any more quantum easing or any type of logistical tools they use to prop the markets, it would just collapse because it's on a thin thread. And the Fed right now is not supporting the market. It's more concerned about the economic itself. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I do want to remind our people who are watching this, please subscribe to our channel. And if you waited this long, we do actually have a promotion for Halloween. We are offering 50% off your first month on our monthly payment. And that's for your first month. But anyways, guys, peace out.